Do you want to learn how to win every single time in Bloons TD battles? Well, I'm one of the best players in this game, and I'm going to try and show you how to effortlessly win in any arena, even the highest one. Now, if you watch till the end of this video, I guarantee you are going to have no trouble getting even as high as an 80% win rate in the highest arena. I guarantee you. Alright, we got our first opponent off meta. Pretty much on any land map, DFA is meta, so if you're not going DFA, you're going an off meta strategy, but if it's still a viable strategy, you can win. I'm going to really show you that. So we're going Cobra, and this Cobra is very easy strategy. I would recommend this to any new players who want to get into battles and just do well in high arenas. Play a strategy that's easy and very good. Now, this is the combination of both. Very easy, very good. It's hard for people to beat Cobra because it's so good and it's very easy to pull off, which is good for you. Now, you want to anti-stall with Cobra, so just place both of your Cobras down right away, somewhere where it can hit the start of the map. The reason you do this is because you want your opponent to have as little money as possible, because with this strategy, you're trying to kill your opponent. You don't want to go late game, and you don't want to have a lot of money because it doesn't matter that much for you. You want your opponent to have little money. That's the main thing. So our opponent's going to send, they're not going to send much. I'm going to double spike just to anti-stall you even further, and he's going wizard. So this is going to be extremely hard for him to play or win, because just Cobra is such a good strategy to play against wizard. He's going mix eco, it looks like, which I'd say is the only viable thing he can do. If he goes BIA, I could probably deny it. Now, he does want to go late game here with the wizard tower, but I'm not going to let him. What I'm going to do is make him have as little money as I possibly can. That's my main goal. And since he, over-ecoed a little bit, he might be late on affording that. And he's going to leak a bunch of lives. That's good for us. But if your opponent over-defends and you don't send at them, they're going to get a lot more money than they should have, and that's going to be very bad for you. So I'd suggest forcing defense. That's your big thing with this strategy. Anti-stall, force defense, and farm Cobras. That's your big three. We're going to send in blacks, and we're going to balloon boost blacks round 7 to mix with the red AI. We don't have to do much to win this game. We just have to not, play horribly. And it's pretty easy to do that. We're going to put more Cobras down. Once his boost wears out, we're going to balloon boost this at him. He had a boost because he's extremely low, and now we're going to balloon boost. And this might force a lot of defense. Since he's so low on lives already, it's going to force more defense than it probably should. Oops. And we're going to send more of that. Spike. And get prepared for yellows that you might send at us. I don't think that'll be enough, but I'm going to send 2 of these to maybe force another lightning. And some yellows. The black. Or 2. And we're hoping that this forces another lightning. Or his second tower boost, which is very bad for him. Now we're just going to Cobra farm. Now, we basically haven't done much on our side to defend. We don't have to do much besides, make our opponent have as little money as possible. We're going to get our burning stuff since he's sending pretty fast balloons. And get prepared to place our mortar down. I want to put it here. Just because that should be a pretty good spot. And he's balloon boosting. So I'm just going to get over defend. Get this right away. I don't care. I just want, since we're so ahead already, we just want to over defend. Not much about it. He only has 1 plantation. So he's in a very bad spot. But he does have a bit of eco from sending at us, which is not the best for him, not the worst for him. In this position, we are, we can win pretty easily. We just have to over defend, and that's pretty much it. He's over defending himself, which is just making it worse for him. Now we don't have to send at him since he already bought the defense, right? I was going to send around 16. Now that he bought a bunch of defense, I'm not. Does that make sense? You have to adjust how you play depending on how your opponent plays. Now, as you can see, I already bought Bernie stuff. Now these camos are going to get by. Now we're going to start adjusting him. He still doesn't have any farms. So let's start buying our adjustment. I suggest adjusting around 16 because the AI gets pretty strong. And how do you defend a Moab? Well, okay, I didn't mean get that. You defend a Moab just by boosting. And you can use your boosts. It doesn't matter that much with this strategy because you can still defend pretty well without any of your boosts. Pretty much anything he sends. And it already forced a boost. Now that it forced a boost, I'm going to sell Cobra and go for a big balloon boosted rush. Now, we're going to send it now, and we're going to send Let's Behind. Now, after I send this, next round, I'm going to send a BFB. Now, he doesn't have a boost to defend this, by the way, and Cobra AI is on the screen at the same time. So he's going to have an extremely hard time. And he died to it. So he was going to lose to BFB anyways. Basically, all we have to do is defend, and we win. So we'll give him a good game. We'll move on to the next opponent. Now, it doesn't matter what strategy we went there. We could have won with anything. That's an important thing to know. And I'm going to play different strategy every game to show you that. Now, we got Lunatic, pretty decent opponent. And as you can see, I have a decent record. I DC people if we get bad maps, especially while I'm making YouTube videos. So don't worry about my record. I'm not going for anything like that or anything. Just know that I am a good player and I can give you good advice. That's pretty much all you have to know. Park, I'm not going to play this. Okay, we get Ban Hoodie. This guy looks pretty good. He has a lot of medallions. Pretty decent record. A lot of games, which means he has the experience. Mountain Pass, I don't really feel like playing Mountain Pass, but as I said, any strategy is viable. So we're going to go NG. Actually, we're going to go Darling. I'm going to show you how to pull off Darling here. Darling Farm Boomer, very easy strategy to pull off on short maps, and that's what I suggest for new players. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do that fairly well. It doesn't matter what you go on this map, as long as you play it well, you can get a really good win rate. So I just suggest going whatever you feel comfortable with. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We don't have to play perfect. He's going to facepalm me for that, which is fine. But he's the one who's going to end up losing, so it's fine. And now we balloon boost. Since he went for his farm, this is agreed. He's going to have to boost, which is good for us. He's still going to leak a bunch of lives. Now, we're actually not going to go for a farm. We're going to go full aggro, right? Why are we going full aggro? Because with this strategy, we don't need farms. Almost at all. And we force defense, it's good. Now we can stop sending. And we can get prepared for yellows. Since he went for his farm, I'm going to do the same, just go for my farm. And we should be able to defend anything he sends at me. We can boost to yellows, it doesn't matter with the strategy, and it'll actually be very bad for him if he does send. If he oversends, we can all add him around 13. Looks like he's not going to want to do that. I'm going to get another farm. And I'm trying to bait him to send yellows so he has even less money. Seems like he's not going to want to fall for that trick. And I'm going to go for that. And get my boomer down. Okay. Now, we're going to send him 3 sets of leads. Get this. We can put on strong so it just hits the lead layer. And clean it up with our dartling. I think we don't have to get much to that. But I could be wrong. I don't want to get like defense. I don't have to, right? Says he's sending a camo lead, forcing my camo lead detection. We'll get it. Okay, so since he sent that, he oversent, right? They're just gonna all out him. If your opponent oversents and they can't defend an all out, just all out them. Right? There's nothing much simpler than that. If he didn't send so much, I would have not oversent there, but he had to. Like, I wouldn't have all outed if if I knew he could defend. But since I knew he couldn't defend because he oversent and he couldn't afford a what's it called, Spike Storm, right? I don't think he even knew how to defend anyways. He tried to go for a second NG, which wasn't the move whatsoever. You should have gone for a Spike Storm. But okay, we get Ban Hoodie. I don't know if he played this guy already, but he's pretty good. Yin Yang, I don't want to play Boat. Boat's not that interesting. It's really easy to play, so I don't really have to teach you it, I wouldn't think. Now, what do we want to go? I'll go Aggro, Attack, Farm, Wiz. Now, Aggro, Attack, Farm, Wiz is really good. Doesn't matter what you go, you still win. He's probably going to Cobra, which is fine. But you could win with anything. That's what I'm trying to show you. So we're going to put Attack down, and he's going Cobra, which is fine. We're going to, instead of trying to defend adjustment, we're going to try and kill him. Very anti-stalled game, so it should be fine. Since we're trying to kill him, I prefer the game to be anti-stalled anyways. I'm not trying to go late game. And see? We're going to try and force defense with pink balloons. See a lot of balloons getting through, since he doesn't have 3 Cobras up. And now we're going to balloon boost this. And he goes for immediate burning stuff, which is good for us, because that means he can't get Cobra farms. That makes sense. And he's still leaking, so we're going to keep sending. He needs more Cobras. Even with the burning stuff, he's not going to solo. And he doesn't have, since he's trying to defend on his side, he doesn't have as much money to send at us, so we don't have to get much defense yet. And I'm just going to put that money into farms and keep rushing him a little bit here and there. Since he's still leaking, I'm going to keep sending, and once he stops leaking, I'm going to stop sending. Okay, my next farm. Now, not really sure what's the best whiz spot. I'm going to assume like right here. It's pretty good. Put this on strong. And that should clean up all the balloons pretty nicely. All the yellows he sent. We don't have to boost, which is good. We can save our boost, and we can just put it in farms. And we still have a healthy life count, which is good. You want to have a healthy life count in arenas. That's really important. Because a lot of players send a lot of hefty choke rushes. Here we're going to send some Rigo Leads to try and force cluster. Now, I think he's going to send a camo balloons. We're going to go for that. And we're going to go for this. Okay, that's not first. Not first. Still not on first, but that's fine. And he might all out us, so we have to get prepared for that. But I'm also going to rush him. He has to sell Cobra, that's good for us. And we have to be prepared. I should be able to get my boost back soon. So if he all outed me, I would have got Dragon's Breath and then tried to get more wizards. And that probably would have defended it all out. If you don't have a boost, if you need to afford a Dragon's Breath with this strat, or else you'll lose. But since we can do fine. I'm not going to send anything at him. Feels like just a waste of money. This is a lot of stuff, so I want to get another lightning. And I want to get another lightning instead of another attack, so I can get more defense against camos, which is my main weakness with the strategy. And now we're going to start really choke rushing this guy. So this is around the time where you can actually start sending choke rushes towards Cobra, and I'll show you some good ones. I will say first send a Moab. Don't balloon boost it. He's just going to have to boost to it. And you can get another Dragon's Breath if the Cobra adjustment is too strong for you. Looks like I'm fine right now. Yep, I'm fine. Now we're going to balloon boost this one, and we're going to put some leads behind it, and he immediately goes for this. But, well, we're going to send some camos behind it. Now, camo pinks, very deadly against the strategy, and now that he doesn't have a boost, dies. See, you don't need to play optimally or play the best way to play against Cobra. You just need to try and kill them. Camo pinks is Cobra's main weakness, and mixed with Moabs, after you take a boost, stuff like that, they pretty much can't defend. And they have to very fastly micro another mortar, which only the best Cobra players can really do. So I suggest if you're ever playing Cobra player in arena, just choke rush them and they will die. Okay. Bloon Popper, very good player, as you can see. Doesn't have the best record, but he has a lot of games. So you know he has a lot of experience under his belt. We got Hot Tub. Now, what's a strategy we can go on Hot Tub? Let me see. See, Boat Farm Boomer is pretty much like Tack Farm Wiz, but just since we don't have as good tack spots and stuff like that, it might be a little bit better on this map. And since it's a super easy strategy, I'll show you how to play it and do well with it. Anyone can play the strategy and do well with it in the highest arena, because any viable strat, you can get a really good 85-90% win rate with it, no matter where you go. Now, we're going to try and choke rush this guy. Same thing as last game, just try and kill them. Not try and outplay them with any smart rushes or anything like that that force defense. We're just going to try and kill our opponent, something that catches them off guard. He's playing Dartling, which we can stop sending because I'll force the Dartling upgrade now, and we can save up for our boat upgrade. After he gets that, blues and pinks won't do much, but we can wait for greens, save our money for that, and in the meantime we could put our money into defense or farms. I'm going to choose defense because he's sending pinks, and then we'll do farms. Don't send at your opponent if it doesn't force anything, because that's a waste of money. That's a tip I'll give you right there. Free tip from Mr. Bloon Junkie himself. Alright, now we're going to send greens. Now we should see what his next tower is. Looks like he's just going to boost it. So right now he's probably going to boost. I'm going to stop sending. Because he's probably just going to try and boost this, or he's going to leak a bunch. He doesn't boost, but I'm going to keep sending to force. Since he's leaked so much, now he has to go for a cluster, which he wouldn't have to do before, I would say. He might not have to. The blacks might layer over really well, though. He goes for that, and now he's going to have to go for it for yellows. So he's trying to be optimal about how he's playing, which is fine. I actually like him not getting the upgrade right away and leaking lives, so that he has less lives to defend choke rushes in the future. Since he's sending that, I'm going to get this and boost. This is a bad rush from him, since I'm not trying to go late game and he is. That makes sense. And boost should defend with the defense we have, which is good. And I will wait to see if he re-rushes, and he does. This is even less money he has to go late game, so our choke rushes are going to be even more effective. And our strategy is better at choke rushing than his, so he's not going to be able to choke rush us, while we can choke rush him pretty easily, if that makes sense. Now, we can force defense by sending a regrow lead, and since he greeted, I'm going to send Bloon boost in, instead of regular to just force defense. Because now, if he doesn't boost, he'll probably die. Yep, he had a boost. Now we can force defense with a camo lead, and we get some stuff here. You might send a camo lead at me, so I have to get prepared. I have enough money to get a cannon ship. And since he's sending camo pinks, choke rush, I'm just gonna get camo detection instead of another camo boat instead of a freaking. And I think since he sent so much, he doesn't have enough to defend this non-balloon boosted. And I'm gonna get this, and he might still die. Since he was sending me a rush, he didn't have enough, and he boosted too late, which made him die. If he didn't boost, or even if he did defend, I had a balloon boost to send at him, so he would have had to sold the plantation in order to defend with my balloon boosted re-rush, if that makes sense, after he boosted, which puts me in a really good spot. I have a turbocharge I can sell at any time to defend it all out, and I could pretty much boost at any time if I want to, any rush that he sends at me. So since he was trying to choke rush me there, my strat was just better at doing so, which is why I suggest going that strat on that map if your particular strategy is choke rushing. And that's what I suggest you to do. You should try and choke rush in arenas because players aren't very good at defending. And you'll get a lot of wins. A lot more wins than if you were trying to play like a meta strategy like DFA or something like that. We get Unflagged Shadow. This guy looks pretty good. He has a lot of wins. We get Super Monkey Lane. We can go Darling Farm Boomer. It's a very good choke rush strategy. The problem is with this main weakness is late game. Can't really go past round 20 because it dies to BFBs, but it's really good at just anti-stalling. It's really good at, getting way better money than your opponent, so you can send those choke rushes and just be that much more effective at killing them. So I'd suggest this strategy on this map. It's very easy, and you'll probably get a lot of wins with it. See, you want to anti-stall, give them as little money as possible because you're not trying to go late game. And as you can see, he's going DFA, which is a late game strategy. He wants to, go to around 30, stuff like that, or at least around 20 to kill me with the BFB. But I'm not going to allow him to do that. I'm going to drain him, give him as little money as possible, and then on top of that, I'm going to send him Moabs, stuff like that. Just really screw him over when it comes to the money side of things, and hopefully one of those things that I send at him kills him, or he just gets drained. Now, since players in arenas don't defend optimally, choke rushes are extremely good, so I would recommend it to any new player. On top of it, they're very easy to play, so you don't need to have a whole lot of games to play them effectively and get a lot of wins with them. See, I want to force defense on the opponent's side. Money is less important to me than forcing defense since he has a late game strategy, so if I think that a rush is going to force defense, I'm not going to go for a farm, I'm going to send the rush. And I think these greens will force defense or lives. I'm just going to boost this, and he's going to do the same. It's better for me since he's going a late game strategy and I'm going choke rush strategy. Boosts aren't that important for me, and they're very important for him. So that's a good play for me. After you boost, I'm going to keep sending. And since he still hasn't bought the necessary defense, on round 7 I don't have to send as many greens as of round 6 since the AI mixes and it's a lot stronger of a rush. Now I can read for a farm, and then if he sends anything I'm just going to boost, and I actually prefer him to send something so he has less money, right? And I'm going to make him send a lot before I boost. So I'm going to make him spend as much as possible, have him spend as much as possible on this, and if he doesn't, I'm just going to spike and not boost. Now he might send more or he might not. Either way, I'm fine, and I'm just going to go for another farm. I'm still okay with boosting since I only really need one boost max, unless I can buy two bionics, and then I need no boost with this strategy because I can defend anyways. Actually, I think you don't need any boost with this strategy after all, now that I think about it. We're gonna send Regrow Lead, Regrow Zebras here, just to get him to buy another Spolt or leak a whole bunch of lives. And now we're gonna get a Circuit Dartling here, just so we have some coverage, and he goes for another trip instead of a Spolt, so we're going to send whites, and that's going to force another Spolt, and now we force a trip as well, so we're in a good position. And now we're going to get camo detection since he's sending, and since he's sending that, I'm going to boost. Actually, please don't die. I had a self-arm there, that's fine. We'll see what he does here. Since I don't have a boost, I'm going to get prepared for an all-out. I should be able to fend pretty easily if he does send. He boosted round 7, so we have to remember he only has 2 boosts. He has Ninja, that doesn't matter. He's still going to struggle really hard to Moabs. And he's going to have to get a Bloon Jitsu and boost. With this strategy, you don't have to fan club the first mill. You can just boost with a Bloon Jitsu. So, but if he was just going DFA I can make him fan club if I balloon boosted the first Moab. I suggest doing that if your opponent's going DFA on this map. Seems like that didn't do much like I thought it was. Sheesh. We're gonna send quite a bit here. And try and force more. We forced him to sell all farms, which is good. Now he doesn't have any farms. And he sends me a BFB. I'm going to deal with that accordingly. First, we're going to take his boost. We're not going to defend this. We're going to kill him. He's going to get fan club. And now I'm going to boost at him an all out. And he might die to this, he might not. He has a boost. So sheesh. Oh, this guy's the top 1 guy. Well, if you're playing against the best or the top player, he's probably going to, you know, be able to beat a choke rush strategy that's, you know, pretty newbie. But don't let that discourage you. I played that pretty optimally, but he didn't go DFA. He went Dart Farm Ninja, which is a pretty good counter to choke rush strategies on that map. This last game is important to show you because I'm going to tell you a big secret. Now, even if you face a player on this caliber that can beat one of your choke rush strategies, don't let that discourage you, because these players spend months and months and months practicing and training to be able to defend rushes like these. But this is not the majority of players. The majority of players cannot defend. And don't try and compete with the players that have been defending for months and months. It just doesn't make much sense, does it? Unless you do that yourself. Now, if you want to do that yourself, I'm going to be making more videos and cover that topic more in depth. So, if you're interested, subscribe, and I'll do that in the future.